to keep their purses full and their names popular. Did you really believe Bonnie and Clyde, the messiest people in Harlem, would get away with inventing a whole baby? Oh, please take a seat and turn off all notifications because what I'm going to reveal is so filthy, so embarrassing, and so repulsively appropriate for these two that even the most deplorable Twitter corners will find it offensive. Cannot make this scandal seem nice. Suppose you wake up to leaked video showing Chrissy, the self-described ride-or-die queen, whispering, "Sweet baby," into a burner phone while Cam'ron, Mr. Pink Mink, takes 3 steps back. Putting together this filthy soap opera like the puppet, master of Harlem's dollar store. Verify fake tears. Double-check the fake medical records. Cash is hidden behind the doors of budget hotels. Baby checkmate. How far down does this rabbit hole go? Actually go? How many reunion agreements, sponsorships, and fictitious charity checks did these two profit from while everyone applauded a fictitious pregnancy? Even worse, one by one, the receipts are leaking out. And I promise that by the time we're finished, you will no longer view a baby bump in the same manner after today. Fasten your seatbelt. The internet might blow up twice before lunch because of this expo. Let's dismantle the circus's dirty layers because, believe me, the alleged power couple of Harlem didn't make a mistake overnight. No. Years were into creating this filthy masterpiece. Disguised as tears in actuality. False Instagram captions and staged engagement rings that could fool a ghost. We should start by going back to the heyday, when Cam'ron strutted around like a peacock for Dawn Data and Chrissy Lannon anointed herself the First Lady of Harlem. At that moment, Jim Jones believed he had Harlem's last unshakable brotherhood, bless his faithful stupid heart. Despite the Dipset nostalgia, hush money, snake pits, and a phony pregnant tummy. Even Mona Scott Young might wonder if this was too scandalous for cable TV. VH1's reunion shows began to draw stagnant ratings in 2017, which is when some claim the rot began. Creon Q, as Chrissy knew her, the value of abilities was rapidly declining. Cam understood his solo hype was confined to cheesy tour flyers and 2005 nostalgia. What are the two hustlers with dusty limelight going to do, then? Simple. Make a new mess. Now for the phony baby story. Insiders. The first pregnancy rumor, according to Chrissy's former nail technician, who couldn't keep quiet, was revealed to Cam at a dubious brunch at Harlem Tavern. What if the world thinks I'm pregnant again? Chrissy muttered as she leaned over her mimosa and tapped Cam's iced-out watch. Cam didn't even bat an eye. Not the public one, the burner. He murmured as he took out his second phone. Baby scams turned into baby plans after that lunch. If you sell it right, we all eat good. On Instagram, Chrissy refollowed former brand sponsors. Producers of reality shows vowed never to collaborate with Cam again once he made amends. Backstage during that meltdown in 2011, he continued to believe every "I love you" text from his father, poor clueless Jim. At 2 a.m., she woke up, while clandestinely organizing hush money for underhanded ultrasound invoices. It is now spring of 2022. Chrissy's selfies began to turn up a suspicious lump. She is shining, according to fan pages. She's glowing. But that, muttered the barbershops in Harlem. In the meantime, Cam milked every drop of cloud, while his tummy looked like a pillow. He gave hints about giving the crew fresh life in a teaser. Hurled subtle jabs at Jim and teased ominous Instagram tales with baby symbols. A real man pays for his mistakes and nurtures his growth. It succeeded. There were sponsorship opportunities everywhere. Maternity fattus, baby brands, and mommy podcasts. According to one insider, Chrissy was offered a large vitamin company. A YouTube vlog about a pregnant woman's health journey featuring a 5F body. They had no idea that the only thing expanding was not her womb but rather her financial balance. And this is the location, it gets dirty. These two didn't merely act the part. No. They ensured the falsehood appeared impenetrable. An OBG traveler from Jersey who allegedly had her license revoked in 2018 before any suspicious PR agent could request verification of due dates. Cam gave Chrissy the dodgy medical documents that were on his private peril. These documents included phony blood testing, sonograms, and pregnant appointment receipts that were prepared on a burner laptop and saved to an encrypted USB. As Jim took grainy photographs in the toilet with Chrissy's fictitious bump, Cam sat at a hookah lounge, 2 streets away, laughing with his inner circle. Even with the addition of reality TV tiers, Harlem is still foolish enough to purchase anything. Narrow, but not shocking. It may have all remained buried as well. Even Cam's paranoia couldn't make up for the one mistake made by the housekeeping lady in that notorious hotel room in Midtown. Indeed, the same housekeeper who discovered an unusually flat band around her pregnant belly thrown in the garbage is associated with 3 unopened bottles of prenatal pills. A photo was taken by her. She DM'd it to a gossip blogger in Harlem who was desperate for clicks. Wow! A baby hoax was exposed. Hours later, #Chrissy the phony bump trended. Instead of congratulatory direct messages, Cam's phone exploded with death threats from people who were angry that he had attacked his brother in order to gain influence. Chrissy's attorney abandoned her. Even the monarch, Mona Scott Young, I rejected her calls, saying, "Give me the mess, I'll spin it." Wait though, because the leak was only the appetizer. The main dish, bank statements, an unnamed whistleblower, and, some claim, a disgruntled intern from Cam's digital folders that were leaked online. A brief podcast endeavor, screenshots of hush money, phony prenatal bills, and hotel reservations made under fictitious LLC names such as Mommy Empire and Consultancy LLC. Fans did what they do best, connecting every mistake with me, and roasting the whole farce till the next week. When Chrissy's supposed due date is compared to her club appearances, where she miraculously had abs by midnight but a bump by breakfast, TikTok detectives compare the dates. Throughout the night, Twitter was raging. Was Jim genuinely blind to this? From the first mixtape Dipit released, Cam has been a snake. You simply forgot. Brace yourself, though, for Harlem's messiest soap opera was far from over if you believed this was the last leak. More screenshots appeared just as Jim attempted to use damage control and publish a picture of hands in prayer on Instagram, dropped Chrissy's cousin's stolen iCloud, burner phone recordings, private voice notes, and a dubious agreement with a dubious public relations business that promised viral rollout of pregnant information are the sources of this case. Cam disappeared in the meantime. No freestyle diss track, no cryptic live, and not even a single spiteful tweet. The quiet, Harlem knew he was either sinning or planning his next move in chess because of this. But Chrissy was unable to conceal herself. She was seen by paparazzi leaving a nail salon without a ring, a bump, or any idea how to turn this PR automobile accident into a new job. This is the actual slapdot with that. Sponsors began to flee. Motherhood is refunded by that vitamin brand. Threat of a lawsuit against the photo studio. There was even a vicious tweet from one brand. Fake babies are not tolerated by us. All collaborations have been ended with immediate effect. The internet went down once more. Pause now. Inhale deeply. You would be terribly naive to believe that this scam ended after hotel bans and dubious invoices were made public. Clout was only one aspect of this baby bombshell. It was the ticking time bomb that caused a federal audit, shattered dips at loyalty, and exploded Harlem's final fairy tale romance. And if you were expecting Harlem gossip to finally stop, you were mistaken. What came next not only included Torchy and Cam, but it also brought some old acquaintances back into they vowed to leave behind the filthy spotlight. Be patient with me. Part 2 will take a closer look at this scandal, and I promise you'll wish this was just lousy reality TV by the end. It is far worse. If you believed that the rumors from the barbershop and the memes on Twitter were sufficient to expose the fraud, welcome to the real Harlem, sweetheart. Instead of dragging Chrissy and Cam'ron along with the leaking receipts, they overturned a switch that made the dusty backstage secrets of Harlem a federal sideshow for no one. Even with her unbreakable NDAs, Mona Scott was unable to hide the reunion. This is the way it spiraled. The same unhappy intern who left the motel prohibited the burner and invoicing. The use of laptop screenshots continued. A single encrypted file was shared on a dubious message board by this rogue whistleblower 2 days after the #Chrissy false bump broke the trending lists. The Mommy Empire PR plan _final file is the name. It has a wealth of emails, too dubious. PR managers and Chrissy Cam plotted a 6-month viral parenting tale arc using signed pitches and WhatsApp messages. There was one bullet point. Phase 1, public disclosure. Fake ultrasonic leak. Phase 2. Phase 3, spotting paparazzi bumps. Securing brand deals is Phase 4. The 5th phase is the planned narrative of a miscarriage to elicit pity and a reunion plot. Reread that. In addition to fabricating a pregnancy, they also intended to fabricate sadness. Fans would therefore queue up with tissue boxes and pleading with VH1 to announce a special reunion. As soon as Harlem learnt about that bullet point, the internet was split in two. According to one side, Chrissy should be banned from all networks that have ever paid her for a reunion. Cam was the puppet master, the evil genius, forcing Harlem's queen to exchange her last shred of dignity for crumbs. The other half cried out. In the meantime, Jim Jones, who referred to himself as the final obedient ruler of Harlem, went nuclear. The hands of prayer are forgotten. Put the spiritual quotes out of your mind. He retrieved his own Instagram receipts. Half-off hoodies, he barked into the phone with a trembling voice. Have you ever been so devoted to someone that you allowed them to destroy you twice? Even though you're all making fun of me, I was acting like Elishi's father as Cam cooked behind my back. Fans poured into the conversation. King, stay strong. You are worthy of better. Cam had to pay for this treachery. Jim's real-time sadness became more intense as timeline disintegrated. TikTok editors combined old Dipset video with clips of him crying, entangling millions of users in a never-ending cycle of nostalgia and embarrassment. However, heartbreak is just one aspect of Harlem's complicated DNA. When things get hot on the money trail, it turns into a crime. Due to the fact that the whistleblower posted partial bank ledgers along with that PR file, even tax agents became excited. Stacks of $2,500, PayPal invoices posing as pregnant wellness consultancy, and Zelle transfers concealed under phony catering companies' payments sent by wire to Harlem's events, an LLC. That was a breadcrumb trail done right for the FBI and IRS. By dawn, news quickly spread. The federal agents requested a meeting. As per the rumors, Homeland Security knocked around 500 a.m. on one of Cam's former Queen's studios, seeking backup discs. A gossip blogger even shared a grainy image of a black SUV parked outside Chrissy's cousin's condo, alleging that the feds were questioning her relative for receipts for hush funds. RICO and racketeering screamed through the street, while Cam remained in ghost mode. No shady Instagram bar. No freestyle clapback. No petty tweets with emoticons for laughing or sobbing. Only radio silence, which is what Cam finds scarier than any diss tune, because everyone in Harlem knows that Cam is working on something deadly when he's silent. Chrissy, the former reality TV ride-or-die queen, was abandoned to drown by herself in the meantime. She was photographed twice in 2 days, ducking into a lawyer's office once one was bawling outside a pregnancy boutique in a borrowed black Escalade, while the other was in a midtown office wearing sunglasses larger than her dignity. Allegedly, she conned people out of free baby bump PROPs. Brands acted without waiting for an apology. The vitamin sponsor is no longer there. Using a nasty pinned comment, she ghosted her after teasing a designer baby clothing brand on Instagram. We only dress true miracles. We hope Miss Lampin recovers and finds peace. Oh no. As well as the Harlemies. Avoid starting them. Beauty parlors were filled with elderly people clucking their tongues. I warned you all that Chrissy was trouble when she made Jim get a tattoo of her lips, rather than a traditional wedding. Classic Harlem, petty, true. However, this is the unexpected turn of events. As the public relations disaster stung every nook and cranny of Harlem, a new participant emerged. The master of the money puppet. This mysterious individual, according to anonymous Reddit disclosures, Reggie, a dubious extension manager, was the one who gave the intern the tip to reveal everything. Before Cam abandoned him for stealing club checks, Reggie reportedly oversaw Cam's touring shows in the middle of the decade. Reggie evidently harbored resentment against Baby and Harlem blocks. Cam went full whistleblower when Reggie discovered that he was still owed underpaid tour percentages while using a fictitious baby plot to collect hush money. The intern was supplied screenshots by him. Hush tapes were fed to bloggers. Even a voice memo with Cam barking on the phone was purportedly sold to a podcast for 4 figures. Chrissy should continue to cry. Tears transfer the product. When they believe she is miserable, we make more. You could hear everyone's jaws dropping from Harlem to Brooklyn as that voice memo appeared on the timeline. Even Monis, the renowned ringmaster of TV Ratchet Circus reunions, had to make a dreary public relations statement when he grew up. It's not Miss Lampkin contracted with any of our current performances. Regarding unconfirmed allegations, we have nothing to say. Translation: this mess is too big for you to even spin back onto our reunion couch. Girl. As the invoices for the puppet master were being passed from one site to another, the like roaches at dawn, brands continued to run away. Calm lost overnight. A mid-tier spirits endorsement. He was subtly removed from a rumored Die Pet anniversary tour. Cam apparently begged in a text message that was leaked by one promoter. promising that the reaction from the baby scheme will end quickly in exchange for a $50,000 advance. Well, it didn't. And a screenshot of a private group chat, the most heinous leak to date. Reggie himself shared it with a YouTuber that showed Cam, Chrissy, and a public relations fixer debating which rumors, if rumors of a false infant became too strong, they would pay off blogs to remove any negative headlines. A petty note was even placed in the exchange. Make sure Jim isn't informed until the bag has cleared. You know what? In addition to Jim discovering out, the entire fucking world discovered. By now, Dipet's once unbreakable fraternity had become as shabby as the trash heap in Harlem. Brand endorsements in ashes, shredded contracts, and charred friendships. Additionally, federal snitches, it was no longer just Instagram memes, squealing due to a suspected federal tax investigation. Cam and Chrissy were now anxious about whether or not hush money was disclosed correctly. In all of this, where had Jim been? Slowly recovering. Still, you mean heartbroken? The last devoted ruler of Harlem struck the booth. There are rumors that a new disc album titled Faked and Betrayed would be released soon. A few sly bits of information were revealed on Twitter. Savage and unrefined Jim dragging, Camp Chrissy, and all the false baby props from Midtown to Miami, bars without any features. You might reconsider assuming that this clown show will conclude with legal fees and PR apologies. Because according to the same Puppet Master Whisper Network, there is a more sinister twist hidden in a lawyer's safe. A final hush agreement that was signed by Chrissy and Cam, detailing the precise amount of fictitious baby money that was transferred behind Jim's back and how it was laundered through fraudulent charity contributions. Oh no, not only will that paper destroy Dipet's final legacy, but it will also may bring down a couple of big-name sponsors. Homeland Security is already conducting reconnaissance. The streets are also drooling over the last few receipts. Section 3. It's on its way, I see. And Harlem has been hankering after this dagger, because Jim Jones will be sympathetic to even the rats in the gutter when that hush file drops. Pay attention, you want to avoid blinking. Part 3 is where we blow up all the secrets that remain. So, here we are. Prepare yourselves, if, thus far, you have not grasped your fictitious pearls. Because the upcoming installment of this false baby disaster not only puts a final nail in Dipset's dusty coffin, but it also sends the entire Harlem gossip ecology into a terrible storm that the oldest OGs on the neighborhood are avoiding cameras. Recall the hush file. Indeed, the smoking gun Reggie mentioned. For weeks, there were rumors in the streets that there were just two persons possessed a copy. 10 years ago, when Cam's tax issues made headlines, he had side dealings managed by a dubious entertainment lawyer and Reggie. However, Harlem overlooked one point. Secrets are not kept in a cage when everyone is faithful. Layoff. 2 days after Reggie's group chat breach and a week after Jim's devastating live tirade, the hush file was made public. There was just one anonymous Google Drive link spread throughout the comments sections of each piece. No major tabloid drop, and no podcast exclusive. Many things are stated. Either phony infants or Chrissy Cam. The link became popular all around the world in just 1 hour. Contracts, signed NDAs, wire instructions, and a grainy PDF stamped final split agreement were all in that folder, which was a veritable goldmine. Large red lettering. It detailed the distribution of the earnings from this so-called baby storyline among Chrissy, Cam, a dubious OBGN, and the gossip PR fixer who sold the story to marketers. A side note was tucked away in the same file, and it nearly blazed through the screen. Jim should not be notified until the very last moment after all. Sponsor payments have been received. Harlem's collective mind was lost. Detectives on TikTok built horrific memes using previous clips of Jim, posted breakdowns in real time, and screen-recorded every sight. Sobbing emojis and clown faces as the caption for a stage kiss of Chrissy's stomach. The entire world gasped, laughed, and then shared it with their messiest group chats, causing it to spread like an uncontrollable digital wildfire. Additionally, if the hush file wasn't a hungry blogger captured Harlem's favorite mother-in-law, Mama Jones, in the middle of a tirade outside her favorite hair salon after she decided to pull the final bit of family laundry out into the daylight. No filters, no excuses. The words Harlem has been waiting were spat out by her. For she was always aware of Chrissy's poisoning. Years ago, she claimed, she pleaded with Jim to open his eyes. He's currently dealing with heartache, embarrassment, and a lawyer's fee that's so large that even Cam can't ignore it. The one that more quickly than any PR announcement Sponsors took action. Chrissy could whip up her people. Vitamins are dead. Maternity photos that were branded were met with harsh requests for refunds. A shop of designers, she placed a threat on her stories. A lawsuit alleging that involvement with a false narrative damaged the brand. $1 after another. It was all collapsing. In contrast, Cam performed what only Cam is capable of doing. He didn't cry out. Behind a lawyer's assertion, he did not release a heartfelt apology video. No. Smirking at the 50,000 people who watched him declare himself Harlem's favorite villain, Cam jumped on live with his sweatshirt half off and a chain dancing on his chest. He chuckled while taking a sip from a crimson cup. Half of the audience cheered when he declared, "Loyalty is dead, and he's the only one real enough to admit he killed it himself." The comment section was overflowing with snake and clown emojis. The villain that Harlem adores says what everyone else is too phony to whisper. Jim didn't reply with another clumsy live stream. He chose to do what he has always done best instead. The booth was struck by him. After 3 days, an unrefined freestyle appeared on SoundCloud with the title, "No More Puppets." It was a record of unadulterated suffering. Number Graveyard. As a tribute to everything Dipset once stood for, fans poured into every Harlem block with car speakers, playing the song by midnight. However, heartbreak and clown memes were followed by the actual hounds, the feds, so the internet didn't stop for long. Word got out that Homeland Security had discovered questionable contributions connected to that fictitious charity foundation. Chrissy and Cam shoved each other during the bump storyline. As it happens, their purported mom's foundation did not provide any financial assistance to poor mothers. It sent brand checks to them directly through invoices from shell companies. Influencer drama has changed. It is wire fraud, Barberhop began, making a joke that the next Dipset reunion special will take place in a federal courtroom rather than on VH1. The heartache was hidden by the laughs, as Harlem knew deep down that this was more serious than phony Instagram captions and belly band imitations. The family in question was one that used to be the final remnant of uncooked loyalty. On the stage.